True. At the end of probably every year, when you look back, it seems filled with tumultuous events on a grander scale than ever before. This year is no exception. So, tasked with choosing the pledge person of 2018, it was as big a challenge as Greg getting through a show without calling for more taxes, or Carol not mentioning the will of the people. Twice. But I got there, and it's no preening, pompous politician who scoops the award, nor any self-serving, superannuated celebrity. Rather, it is America's, no, make that the world's, favourite shopkeeper. I speak of Apu Nahasa Petilon. Faced with the possibility of being written out of the show due to fears of racial stereotyping, the king of the Quickie Mart needs all the help he can get. Apu is the perfect case study of what immigrants offer. He's hard-working. He never takes a day off. He loves his wife and 8 children. He's fiercely proud of the US, and he's a devout Hindu. So, for all the Apus out there, I salute you.
What was his surname again?
Apu Nasa, whatever it is. That's cute. Okay. Yes, Apu.
Yeah, this is a show that has run for 29 seasons in America. Yep. It's the longest running scripted primetime show in America, and people start complaining about it now. As you said in the intro, there, this guy, devout Hindu.
Yep.
Devoted dad. He works all the hours God said. He's a cool guy. He's got a flash car. You know, the whole,
good luck to him.
And they're saying he's a stereotype. The whole show is stereotypes. The whole show is built around stereotypes, and that's the funny.
And it's fiction.
And also, but you know, Homer being the biggest stereotype. You know, white, overweight, drinking guy. So you know, it's supposed to be funny, and it really upsets me. And when people start putting political correctness onto something that is not meant to offend anyone, it's meant to make you laugh.
I think the swear jar...
no, let her off.
I think the swear jar should have had political correctness on it, not the B word, because that is the thing Carol can't stop going on.
Do you have a problem with Apu Nasa?
I just find this so surreal. Suddenly, you guys are all pro-immigration. You're all...
Well, my last name's a clue.
Well, there you go. It's so interesting that I don't usually feel when we're having debates about immigration that you're all singing the praises of, and I 100% agree, the thousands of incredibly hard-working, aspirational, decent immigrants
shops open as we speak.
Who keep shops open, who work hard, who make this country and the US
when did we not do that
it is. Well, I feel like we often sit here and talk about immigration like it's some kind of existential crisis
uncontrolled immigration.
Our country. And it's so interesting that then when in the context of somebody wanting to edit out a story which you think is politically correct, suddenly it's the immigrant is the champion, and how dare someone...
But if you looked on social media at the time the story broke, you'd find that there were... I mean, I was looking at there were many, many Indian people who were not offended by this, who said it was funny. They got the joke of the whole show, the fact that the whole show is about stereotypes. They got it, and they're not offended by it. So why should you be? Why not?
It's not about me. It's about people... Sorry, just let me finish my point, Greg, because this was addressed to me. It's about people of Indian heritage who know that they're not represented in the media in anything like a fair or accurate way. And when they are, it's a crude stereotype.
But how could a fictional character be the person of the year? Seems to me a bit strange. Anyway,
I've seen strange to you since we first met, so nothing's going to change. Your choice.
Now, my person of the year, I thought about this long and hard, is Gareth Southgate, who was the England manager. And I support him not only for getting England to the semi-finals of the World Cup, but mainly because he brought intelligence, honesty to a role that we haven't always seen, and that football is desperately in need of people like that. And I thought Southgate was incredibly impressive. And there was a very good quote from him. I have to put my glasses on, but it's quite difficult if you're Scrooge.
Over that nose.
Right, you've got to get it over both the nose and the head.
And the hair, I get it.
This was from the Guardian columnist John Crace, who I thought summed up about Southgate. He said, it's not just the team that Southgate has inspired, it is England as a whole. At a time when the cabinet is fighting like rats in a sack and trusting the political class to act in the best interests of the country rather than their own party is at an all-time low, Southgate has shown what it is to have integrity, to stand up and be counted. He has demonstrated that you can act with humanity and decency towards others.
All I say is the Sports Personality of the Year doesn't agree.
Let's just show you one clip.
The vote didn't agree, did it?
Let me just show you one clip of Southgate when he is comforting the Colombian players after we'd knocked them out of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, who...
Yeah. He's a gracious man.
Who else would
He's
have
very
done
gracious man.
He didn't win the personality, which is worth noting, but it's a good nomination.
Yeah, and I expect in the New Year's honours coming up over the
the best thing is Alistair Cook's getting that.
He will get something for services to waistcoats, won't he?
Who's your nomination?
My nomination is a 15-year-old girl called Greta Thunberg, and let's have a clip from her, and then I might say something afterwards.
You only speak of green, eternal economic growth because you are too scared of being unpopular. You only talk about moving forward with the same bad ideas that got us into this mess, even when the only sensible thing to do is pull the emergency brake. You are not mature enough to tell it like it is. Even that burden you leave to us children. You say you love your children above all else, and yet you are stealing their future in front of their very eyes.
Wow.
I thought that was unbelievably powerful. And obviously she was speaking at the 2-week climate change conference, and I just might say one thing, because I don't want this jar to go empty, which is that she said that the failure of the government class to do anything about climate change was stealing their children's futures, which is much what I feel about if we do not stop Brexit, which is going to steal my grandchildren and grandchildren's children unless they stop Brexit. Whoops!
Oh, all right, we couldn't even get it in from there. Go on, yeah.
Or do something to make sure that if we do have Brexit, as the will of the people determined, it should be in a way that doesn't stop our children living, working and loving in 27 different countries.
You'll have your own country looking after your own countries, unfortunately, which we're kind of quite... We've only not been doing that for the last 40 years.
Nomination.
I agree with Rachel that I think too much we are leaving the burden to the young people to rescue the mess that old generations have put us in. But there is one young person that I found inspiring this year, and she is not in my usual category of places to find inspiration. She's a royal. My person of the year is Meghan Markle, because I think she did more to open up a debate about race and identity in Britain than anyone else, maybe in my lifetime. And for the first time, across news networks and mainstream TV and radio and in magazines and newspapers, everybody was asking about what it means to be British, what it means to be mixed heritage or have African ancestry and be in one of the most prominent parts of the British establishment. And for me, as a mixed-race girl growing up in Britain, feeling that I couldn't be British because Britishness was somehow a white identity, that was a very powerful moment. So while I still have my issues with the royal family and intergenerational privilege and the monarchy, I think she has been a very inspiring character, and I can see the way that the press are already turning on her, and I think that she's going to...
The suggestion she's deserted feminism the other day, was that fair?
I mean, I don't think it's fair. Okay. She's never been a radical, you know. She is somebody who is a self-made woman who has been vocal about her own causes, and I think that many women relate to that, and I think she will continue, I hope she will continue to do that and not be silenced by a royal family that has not proved itself very adept at handling strong-willed, independent women in the past. So I think she's going to continue to challenge them.
I know.
But I hope she will triumph.
The thing is the royal family, you never take on the royal family. You end up out in the cold, and I think she's seen that already.
We've got a football manager, we've got a youthful campaigner, we've got a cartoon character, we've got a royal, and Carol finally.
So I'm going to bring the tone right down. But I actually think, and I'm not saying, yes...
Can we guess?
Mine is Donald Trump. Now listen, the man is a boor, possibly a misogynist. He's got a potty mouth, and his image is not good. However, if I was one of the Americans who voted for him, I would be pretty happy with the way the country's doing. There was a YouGov poll in the last week or so that said 37% of the country think the country's going in the right direction. That is the highest it's been for 5 years. The economy is soaring. Let me do my list. The economy is soaring. The stock market has risen by 27%, and unemployment has fallen to an all-time 50-year low under him. He thinks, whereas Barack Obama was very much about global dominance, Trump doesn't care about that. His, it's America first. It's America first for the American people, and you can't knock that.
All right, we must take another view.
Can I just point out, as a former FT reporter, when I used to have columns, that, a lot of those things are lagging indicators, and he's inheriting the economy from his predecessor, and so it's an easy win for him to cut taxes and to see growth.
Well, it's not an easy thing to cut taxes, and it's not as easy to cut corporate tax like he actually did, which was a an incredible feat from something like 37% to 21 or 2%.
Well,
that's an incredible thing.
Well, Carol, in November, the budget deficit in the US was at the highest level since the financial crisis. And there are lots of concerns about the way spending is outstripping growth.
Sorry, guys. What's that noise? Santa Claus!
Right, I'm going to make this brief. I haven't got long. Because I've got a busy schedule at the moment. And upstairs, the admin list have messed it all up. So I need to know who's on the naughty and who's on the nice list, OK?
Right, OK.
Rachel, you're good, aren't you?
I've been good.
Definitely on the nice list.
Thank you.
Afua, you're an absolute angel. No. An angel, I tell you. So you're on the nice list. Carol.
Oh, no, if she can't be on the
Carol,
nice list.
And Greg.
Yes?
You two have been bickering. So you're on a yellow card. It's your last chance. But you've made the cut.
Well done.
Oh, well,
Nick.
Santa.
Now listen to me.
Yes.
I have 47 votes of no confidence in your ability to be nice. So you have made...
I've got make it 48.
Oh, no. So now you have made...
Oh, no, I'm on the naughty list. Oh, sorry, Santa.
Oh, and by the way, if you wondered why I brought Andrew, it's because my reindeers are overworked, underpaid, and they didn't want to come, basically, so I'll have him. All right?
Bye, Santa.
Bye, Santa.
Bye, Phil.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah.
Slipper sable under the tree.
Well, thanks, Santa. Or Phil. Something like it. Coming up after the break, I'll make my predictions for 2019.